All right, hi sixth graders. This is lesson 2, compare and order integers on a number line. Make sure you have your textbook open to page 13. Today, we're going to order integers from least to greatest and use inequalities to compare integers. We're going to start with the Spark Your Learning. The thermometer shows temperatures that are above 0 and temperatures that are below 0. Find a temperature to complete each statement, then describe a thermometer to someone who may not have seen one. All right, I want you to pause and complete this on your own. Hit play when you're ready to go over it. So it wants a temperature that is colder than -8 degrees. There are many options here. One would be that -10 is colder than -8. Well, so here is -8 degrees. Anything below that would be colder than -8. Blank is warmer than 6 degrees. Well, we could say that 10 is warmer than 6 degrees. Here is 6 degrees, so anything above that would work. Blank is warmer than -8, but colder than 6. Well, we could say 2 degrees there. So it could be anything between the two lines there. Okay? Go to the next page. Build understanding. The table shows the elevations above and below sea level of several lakes. Sea level is considered to be an elevation of 0 feet. So if we're at sea level, it's at 0. If you're below, it's a negative number. If you're above, it's a positive number. So we have that chart there about the lakes. How could you use a horizontal number line to compare the elevations? If we wanted, we could graph the elevations and then compare the locations on the number line. So we could put them on the horizontal number line and we could see which ones were closer to 0, which ones were further from 0. What happens to the elevations as you move right on the number line? All right, so as we move right on the number line, they would increase. And as you move left, they would decrease because the numbers decrease. Alrighty. Which lake is at a lower elevation, Springbrook Lake or Forest Lake? Well, Springbrook Lake is at -75.2 and Forest is at 90. Well, which one's lower? The negative one, of course. So Springbrook because -75.2 is left of 90, so it's smaller. Which lake is at a higher elevation, Belden Lake or Springbrook Lake? So let's see, Belden Lake or Springbrook Lake. Well, they're both negative numbers. So that's not going to help us, but we can think about which one is closer to 0 for which one's a higher elevation. And I know that -18.5 is going to be closer to 0 than -75.2. So in this case, Belden Lake because -18.5 is to the right of -75.2. How can you use a number line to order the elevations? Remember that our number line already has our numbers in order, so actually all we would have to do is graph all the elevations on the number line. Then we can just write them as they appear, right to left. So we know that numbers are in order on our number line from right to left. So if we look at just the ones we plotted, we can just pick out the dots and order those right to left. All right, we are ready for the next page. Deshawn, Chris, and Tanya and Austin play a game. Each turn, a player can lose a point or win a point. At the end of the game, the scores are shown. Graph the scores on the number line. I want you to pause and graph their scores and then press play. All right, so have them plotted. Check yours. Is Deshawn or Tanya's score greater? Well, I notice that Deshawn's score is to the right of Tanya's, so I know Deshawn's score is greater. So Deshawn's score is greater because it is to the right on the number line. C says, is Chris's score greater than Tanya's? Well, is Chris to the right of Tanya? Yeah, he is. So Chris's is greater. So yes, Chris's score is right of Tanya's. So it is greater. From left to right, do the values on the number line increase or decrease? If I'm going left to right, the numbers are increasing. Use the number line to write the scores from least to greatest. All right, so again, I can just look at my numbers from left to right. And so I was gonna see that -5, -4, 2, and 3 are my numbers that I graphed, and I looked at it left to right, like we read a sentence. And so that's how I found the correct order. I read the number line, left to right. All right, let's go to the next. Mathematical sentence -3 is less than 5 and 2 is greater than -4 are examples of inequalities. The simple less than is read less than. So -3 is less than 5 means -3 is less than 5. The greater than sign is the other one, so it says 2 is greater than -4. In golf, scores are based on par. If someone scores less than par, their score is recorded as a negative integer. If someone scores more than par, their score is recorded as a positive integer. After 2 holes, Jalen's score is -3, Cairo's score was 1, and Kayana's score is 3. Use a number line to order the scores. Write the scores in order from least to greatest. So I want you to go ahead and draw your number line off to the side and answer that question and then push play. All right, so you made your number line and then you read it left to right. So you're gonna see it goes -3, 1, and 3 because you read your number line left to right. What 2 inequalities could you write to compare Jalen and Cairo's score? Well, let's put Jalen first. Jalen had a -3 and Cairo had a 1. -3 is smaller, so I'm gonna write less than. Or we could flip it around and say 1 is greater than -3. If the lower score is better, who did better? Well, -3 is definitely lower, so Jalen did better. Two new golfers, John and Tiana, are in a competition. Tiana scores a -3 and John scores a -1. Write an inequality to compare their scores. Since in golf the lowest score wins, who won the match? So we have -3 and -1. Well, -3 is smaller. And then we have -1 and -3. So we'll flip it around. Okay, again, the -3 is the better score, so Tiana won because it's lower. All right, guys, that wraps up today's lesson. Look on Canvas to see what to do next. Talk to you later.